so I'll just finish this pile that I had pulled. As I said, in looking at my selection of records, as extensive as it appears, there's just so much that I don't have on vinyl. Boy, would I love to have all the stuff I have here on CD on vinyl instead. I'd have to live in a mansion. But that was, you know, again, my it was always my recurring dream as a little boy, frankly, was that I would walk in this back room of this house, as it were, and it would be this unending warehouse of rows and rows that just go to the ceiling of records, and they were all just there for me to listen to and look at, you know, and they could just take forever. Anyway, back to finishing up on the German music. This is Dieter Schütz with Voyage. I include this. It came out on a new age label out of America, Lifestyle Records. You know, this is a very good electronic album. And so if you see it and you're put off by it looking kind of cheesy, no, this is really nice. Definitely included in the prog rock. I've got some Klaus Schulze, and I'm ashamed of what I don't have on it by Ashra Temple, but I'll show what I do have. It's not extensive, but Cyborg, Klaus Schulze. You know, again, we speak of in superlatives when we talk about people like Klaus Schulze. Time Wind. Looks like it won some kind of award, possibly. This is on Brain. Mind Phaser on his own label, Innovative Communications. The man, Mr. Schulze. Picture music. Again, what is there to say about Mr. Schulze? Body Love. Pretty cool soundtrack, actually. Black Dance. Sometimes when folks see my videos, they'll comment and say, you didn't show this and you should hear that, and I appreciate that. If you'll notice, a lot of times what it turns out being is I just don't have it on vinyl. I do have it. I have, like I said, got a bunch more Klaus Schulze on the computer. And then this is a live album, isn't it? 2 LPC? Yeah, live. Klaus Schulze live, 2 LP set. And the only, oh no, I do have one more, which is Irrlicht on the Or PDU label. This is excellent, just excellent stuff. And the only Ashra Temple album I have on vinyl, I have the early stuff. Begenugen, I can't say the names right. The one with Flowers Must Die, but New Age of Earth. This is just wonderful. Back, it's just all black. This is a great Ashra Temple album. A few more things. Some Edgar Froese, is that how you say his name? Aqua. You know, again, the man was just he was kind of in the zone at the time that he was making these albums and the Tangerine Dream albums at the time, Phaedra, etc. He was in the zone. And Epsilon in Malaysian Pale. This is a beautiful cover, and I'll dare show just the gatefold. It's beautiful, and I think it's one of his kids on the inside, which is a kind of a purely European picture. But I'd go ahead and just show that as well. Beautiful album. I love this cover. Man, that's a neat cover. Then the other one I have by him on vinyl is Macular Transfer. Again on Brain. Love that label, Brain. Can't recommend it enough. I only have a few Guru albums on vinyl. I used to have Kangaroo on vinyl as a teenager, and I just didn't value it. I sold it, but I kept this one, and this is one. I just love this one. This is simply called Guru Guru. Oh, this is so good. This has got the Electrolurch. I love that, man. Der Electrolurch by Guru Guru. See if that's on YouTube and check that out. That's just really cool. Guru Guru. Manny Neumeier. Just great German drummer. Also played jazz in the 60s. Here's a double live album of theirs. And this is really good. This is again where it's a mid-period sort of thing where it's more accessible as opposed to all stoned out, but it's still really good. And here's an album he did where he collaborates with folks. Guru Guru, Manny und seine Freunde. It's got members of Helmet. It's got members of Kran, Harmonia, and Cartago on here playing with him. This is a sweet album. I'd love to find more of these guys' records. Gila Craig, a little more on the symphonic side of prog, but a great German band doing this sort of thing. Maybe like Wallenstein, but I would say definitely better. Yeah, that big Wagnerian sort of. And this is kind of religious in some ways. It's beautiful though, really, really good. And Hats of Glass. I love this album as well as just love this cover. It's cool because the music has there's a greenness to the sound of this record. I'm not sure how that's. But it sounds green. It sounds like this color. This is the perfect cover for this record. So I really like it. Birth Control, Titanic. This is one of two of their albums I have, and I like how Big Star 1000 talked about tiers of krautrock. There's 3 tiers, and never thought of it that way. But I would say I pretty much agree with what he was saying about that. I would put these guys on the 3rd tier. It's good stuff. It's not essential, but they're pretty good. You know, kind of like Grubschnitt. But if you get Birth Control, if you can find this one, Plastic People, this is the one to get. Or rather, I'd say this is really a really well realized prog concept album. I'll pull this one out of the plastic. I love it when the covers are like that. It's just a great. This is a good album. We've shown this before a couple times, but I just love this album and this cover, Cluster. That's just a fantastic cover. So simple, it's brilliant in my opinion. Like this album. Minimal, and yet like nothing you've ever heard. Cluster and Eno, Old Land. I was looking for my Cluster and Eno and sold it. Look at this. Grosses Wasser. Cluster. I love this album. The simplicity of the graphic just really lends itself well to the ambience of this music. It's minimal. A lot of open space. Really wonderful. And then Zuckerzeit. Oh, this is so good. You know, it's not for no reason that people are really getting into this genre of music. This is just some wonderful, wonderful music. This is one of the, for me, what I call just one of the best krautrock albums of all time. Harmonia, Music von Harmonia. This is one of my favorites. This is just one of the best of them all. I just love this album. Watusi, Hypnotic as Hell. Or maybe not hell, Hypnotic is Heaven, maybe, if you want to say it that way. Harmonia Deluxe, their second album. Perfect graphics for the music, you know, just really, really wonderful stuff. That's again why I take it out of the, and I will, I'll take this one out. This is just a beautiful cover and a beautiful record. And then this is a reissue, but but a nice one. Dino harmonia. Last but not least, we have some records by another German band that is not spoken much of, that I know of, but needs to be recognized when it comes to classic German krautrock, and that is the band Embryo. And this record is just a dream of a record. We must take it out. I don't know what I'm thinking. Steig Aus is the name of this album. They have several albums, and I don't have the other ones like Father, Son, Holy Ghost. There's some other really just iconic records by Embryo. They were among the first people to be including and mixing in jazz and world music elements into the music. This album is so cool. This is just one of my top 25. I mean, obviously a top 10 would be almost impossible, but if I had to put together a top 25, this would be definitely in contention for one of my top 25 records of all time. Another one that I have by them, this is what's called Rock Session, Embryo Rock Session. Crazy cover. And then Surfin', this came out in the US on BSF. It's a little more jazz rocky, but it's still got that quirky, that I call it krautrock quirkiness. There's just something kind of special and cool about this music. Here's a record that Embryo made not too long ago with the No Neck Blues Band. This is real neat. And I will conclude this post with two more records that, again, you like krautrock, La Dusseldorf. Again, this is another group that came out of Neu, the Dinger Brothers. Oh, this is the bomb. La Dusseldorf and Viva. I think there is one more. I have the other one on CD, or on the computer rather, digitally. But all these crazy ass covers, I just love them. I don't, what does it mean, or what were they smoking or ingesting? I love it, But La Dusseldorf, Viva. Just wanted to throw those out. Some more great German music that I recommend. I have more, and we'll share more as time goes on. But I'll tell you, if I started to show you the CDs, we'd be here all day. It's just some of the coolest music. Psychedelia and space rock. When I first was turned on to it, the term that was being associated with it was space rock, Ashra Temple in particular, and Popol Vuh. I didn't even show my Popol Vuh. See, there's just so much Popol Vuh. I believe Jeff, you showed the Popol Vuh, didn't you, already? But he's got an amazing Popol Vuh collection. But there you have it. Have a good weekend, and I'll be looking for your comments.